Hey, what's going on YouTube? It's Nick from Noobkill coming at you with another Madden video today. So guys, super exciting. Our second part of our tournaments is out. Today is consisting of the Saturday and Sunday rounds. You guys already got a taste of what the tournament's all about Thursday and Friday if you guys participated in it. And of course, we did do a live stream from Thursdays to Fridays batch on, I think, Thursday night. So if you guys tuned into the stream, hopefully you guys did. I had a lot of fun with you guys. Really want to say thank you to that. Now, of course, I was gonna live stream today for Saturday's match because one, it is the draft, and then two, I just want to have some fun live stream. But of course, guys, today there are some different changes, or we actually got enlightened about how the tournament is all about. So I actually kind of canceled the stream. I actually woke up early to pick up the Air Jordan Concords as well. So when I got home, I was super tired and I just crashed. So yeah, unfortunately no stream today because, like I said, they have changed some things. So we're gonna go ahead and draft the team, which is gonna be awesome. It's really awesome. We got the draft content back, but of course then we're going to talk about some things that I feel like is great about the tournament, and then some things that I don't think is really, it's kind of crazy and a little boggles my mind, some things. All right, so let's get off to the first part. Let's go ahead and draft our team. So here we go, guys. You guys can see we do have masters, we do have the attempts, we do have the solo of challenges and stuff like that that are the exact same solo challenges from Thursday, Friday. So you kind of know where I'm going from here. And then of course we have the sets. So what's really great is every single week, if you guys don't want the masters, you guys don't care about Dak Prescott or any other guys you see here, Anthony Harris or any of those guys, you guys don't have to go for it. That's kind of like a longer grind, but of course you can get yourself a selectable diamond. So if I see the viewing requirements, you guys can see that it's 200 trophies technically and 1 crown. And if you get to tier 7, you basically got yourself 200 trophies and the crown. So you guys get yourself a diamond player guaranteed every single week if you make it to reach to tier 7, and you can do that absolutely free. I went ahead and actually played all the way until tier 7 until, like, I want to say it's my third last game or second last game, and then I actually lost the second last game. So I just bought another ticket for 200 Madden cash. You actually get a free ticket actually, so I didn't even have to buy it, but I wanted to do it because, hey, I thought that Saturday was gonna refresh, but of course some stuff didn't refresh. But of course I did spend 200 Madden cash, but technically I didn't even have to because I got a free ticket from, I think it's one of these guys. You get a free attempt ticket, so it technically only took me 4 tickets. So free to play. If you are not bad at the game, you have a solid team, you get matched up against people I was getting matched up against, you get yourself a diamond player every single week. So that's pretty great. But let's go on to the main attraction. Let's go on and draft a team. But you guys can see the milestone did not reset, and I'll get on to that afterwards as well because that was kind of a cheese. But let's go ahead and start the draft. So of course this one would have been my draft, bro. Spread captain. I always love Kamara. Kamara's my go-to in Overdrive. So 50% spread right now. Let's go ahead and start the draft. So what do I go ahead and do right now? You guys see, you use Alvin Kamara one time, you can't use him again. So this would kind of suck for me because I would use Alvin Kamara and then try it again. So I can't use him. If I use him once in the tournament, I can't use him again. So that's actually good. But of course we're gonna go West Coast because I know the West Coast playbook a lot as well. West Coast and spread are my two go-to. I'm not really good with verticals, and I'm terrible with smash mouth. I already used John Madden. We're just gonna use spread captain right here, Pete Carroll. So here we go. We get to start the draft, guys. Every single round is consisting of elite players, which is awesome. Before it was like 17 rounds, I believe, or it was like 14 rounds, but the first 3 were gold players. I believe you don't get gold players anymore. There's only 15 rounds in total, but starting it off, we got our scheme one. So of course we have a tight end possibly with Jimmy Graham, Demarius Thomas, and DeMar Dotson right there. Now of course, guys, who do you look for? I usually go for what I usually draft, guys, and this is how my mentality always is. Defense will win you championships. Defense is what you can't control, so I always try to bring out the best defense, guys. So here's my tips and tricks for you guys. I always try to draft the best defense. All I need is a good quarterback, and I have Tom Brady, so I don't have to draft a quarterback this whole thing. A good quarterback, then of course I need a good 1 running back, 1 good tight end, and 1 good wide receiver. So that's all I really need. And if you want to throw in another wide receiver, you can. So that's 5 wide receiver or 5 cards you just need on offense. And then I don't care about offensive line. I don't really care about my flex, and I don't really care about what's it called, my offensive line at all. I should know the play before I snap the ball, so there is no more counters, so I should be able to get the ball before I get sacked. So that being said, who do I pick here? Do I pick for the tight end? And I think I might just go for the tight end here because this Demaryius Thomas is not that great. So that's my first tip to you guys, is always draft a defense first and then the offense. And that's just the way I roll. Now, of course, moving on to things like this, here's another thing. You might think, okay, highest overall is 85 overall, and you see Tyreek Hill, he's not even that speedy, but he works with our scheme. The faster you do your scheme, the better it is for your overdrive bar. So in this round right here, I would love to get Terrell Davis right here, but I'm going to go for Tyreek Hill right here. So I'm going to pick him just because he helps out and brings our power level higher, because if our power level is higher, guys, in these overdrive matches, it's going to be better for us. Now for here, all three quarterbacks are not part of my scheme, but I'm just going to go for the higher overall. I'm just going to go for the one that gives more power, and you guys can see the difference between Dan Marino, McCowan, and of course Jackson. 50 power compared to 40, and I'm just going to go for the speedy Lamar Jackson. But since my guy's Tom Brady, I can't even use these guys technically. So for quarterbacks, and then you have a special quarterback, you want to go for the one that helps you out in that specific given scheme. If it doesn't go for scheme, go for the highest power level. Moving on to our next round, we got our another, I guess, scheme skilled round. We got a tight end. We already have a tight end. We already drafted one for our Jimmy Graham, and these guys are all for West Coast, and if you smash mouth whatever you pick, you will get these turn rounds. Now, of course, like I said, I already have a wide receiver, I have a tight end, and I have a quarterback. Now I just need a running back, so I'm gonna pick up Pharaoh Cooper. So there we go, we got Pharaoh Cooper. Our skill level should go up again. We're at 500 almost skill level. Now another offensive round. These guys, I already do have a wide receiver, a tight end, and I don't really care about the center, but of course you guys see, once again, I'm gonna go for the scheme. Golden Tate right there. So I'm gonna pick up another guy, and that's gonna bump up my overall like crazy. Now moving on to defense. Who do I look first for defense? I go for secondary, and then I go for pass rush. I just feel like a lot of people just throw the long bomb. We're gonna go for the highest overall too, and that's Glover Quinn, so we're gonna go him. Labor Day, I guess, little player right there. Defensive line, who do I go for? Probably the highest overall, but of course all of them have the same power level. So I look at the stats. All right, so we got Trey Flowers, absolute beast, only's got 68 speed though. But then of course these other guys are not that quick, but the defensive tackle, so, or one's defensive end. So what I look right here, do I go with Trey Flowers or I go for Kenny Clark? And I might actually go for Kenny Clark just because it helps out stopping the run block. So we're gonna go for Clark right there. Now, of course, we got a run stopper, so we're guaranteed something crazy. So Lorenzo Alexander, Lamarcus Joyner, and of course Jordan Hicks right here. Do we go for another safety, or do we get at least a linebacker just to help us out? He does have 80 speed. We're just gonna go for the linebacker, even though I could have got another safety there, but I feel like we'll have better rounds for safeties and cornerbacks. So here we go, we got a cornerback round. Now I'm gonna check out for the cornerbacks, so definitely not gonna go with Williams because he is an 83 while the other two are 89, but I do want to just check out his stats because look, 84 speed, they're all pretty similar, beside Walls is 86, but man coverage, you guys can see man coverage 79 and 79. And actually I'm actually gonna go for Wall right here, so that was not that hard. You want to go for man coverage, I feel like, for your cornerbacks. So we're gonna go for Walls right there, Everson Walls. Now the coverage round, we're gonna have good safeties hopefully. Aqib Talib or Brian Brakpo. I got the Honey Badger 80 speed versus Aqib Talib 82 speed. I'm gonna go for the Honey Badger right here. I feel like safeties are really important. So are wide cornerbacks, but if we can get a faster cornerback, 82 speed is not gonna cut it if people get Randy Moss and stuff like that. All right guys, so let's move on to this round. I don't really care too much about my offensive line, so I'm just going to strictly go right away with the defensive tackle. Now, moving on to hands round, we got more wide receivers and safety. So, Denzel Ward is going to be our guy because, like I said, Odell Beckham Jr., yes, speedy, but look at that speed with Denzel Ward. 92 speed. That should be able to keep up with whoever has a really quick wide receiver. So, we got our cornerbacks. We got everything else set. Now, best available. So, we don't have any defensive ends yet. We already have a halfback. We have a linebacker. Justin Houston would have been nice, but of course, we're gonna go for ourselves Cameron Jordan because we just gotta fill in the holes now. but we got to just fill in the holes. Round number 14 is a legend round. I don't know why Steve Young is not blue in this one. So we got Paul Kroos, who's actually brand new today. 88 speed, which is sick. And then Lawrence Taylor. I think I might just go for Lawrence Taylor. We have safeties and stuff, so we're gonna Lawrence Taylor. And then finally our MVP round. I'm probably gonna get a Thanksgiving card as we get Barry Sanders, Marcus Peters, and Stephon Gilmore. So we get to help out that cornerback rating. Now, what does suck is I'd rather have Denzel Ward on my team than Walls because of the faster speed. But let's see the stat comparison with Gilmore. So Gilmore has 91 speed. He's not as good. Let's see, man coverage is not as good as Marcus Peters though. 88. What's the release? Do they show release on the cards? No, they don't. Play recognition. I'm actually gonna go for Marcus Peters. He might be a tad slower, but man coverage and zone coverage, he is better than actually zone coverage is not as good, but I'm gonna go for Marcus Peters on this one. I know we're not going with my boy Stephon Gilmore. We're going for the flashback Marcus Peters. So yeah, that is my draft, and we rounded out with a pretty solid 952 power. So you guys can see those are guys my tips that I give you guys for what I like to see. Now, of course, can I move things around? No, I can't. So that's the problem, because we got to see that Walls had not the greatest speed, but Denzel Ward had better speed than him. So I can continue, and then of course they tell me this is what the lineup is. The only problem is I don't think I can move cards around. Like I would love, oh I can, so there I can switch this around, but on offense I can't. Okay, I was doing this before and I couldn't do it. Okay, whatever, who cares? That's pretty sick. So you guys can see my team right here, and I can unlock them. Oh, so if it's unlocked, to unlock him, to move him around, you gotta just click that button. So I just learned something there. All right, so yeah, there is my team, guys. Tell me guys what you think about my team. 905 power, 952 power right there. I'm actually really happy with how it came out, what we drafted. We got some all right wide receivers, not too quick at all. 82 speed, and of course 86 speed with Tyreek Hill. But of course I should be able to get what I needed. Now of course I should have drafted maybe 2 tight ends, because I forgot Tom Brady's captain bonus is passing the tight end. So maybe that's something that you need to take into account too. So I might actually take out Fowler right here and put in another tight end right here, just so I can get that extra bonus, to make sure I get that bonus. So where's this guy's speed? We're gonna go with this guy because he has better speed. But other than that, guys, that's how we drafted. Now of course taking account of what you need for your team, what your captain, what the scheme is. But then of course, like I said, draft defense heavy. You guys see I draft way defensive heavy than offensive heavy. So yeah, those are just my tips for the draft. Now let's talk about what's great about the tournaments and stuff like that. So one, you can get your diamond player bid pretty much free, and instead of 2 rounds, guys, it's usually going to consist 3 rounds. It's going to be Monday to Wednesday, Thursday to Friday, and then Saturday to Sunday, I believe, is the days or something like that. If it's not, it might be Tuesday, Wednesday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday to Friday, and then Saturday, Sunday. That might help be the days, but we'll find out by next week. But of course, guys, once you guys jump into it, there are lives, so it is free to play. So I like that. But of course, you move on to the Masters, and you can get yourself a free diamond player if you get to tier 7. Now, let's talk about this in a whole grand scheme. Now, in the beginning, if you guys watched the live stream, the first match I played up against, guys, it was rough. It was rough, not for me, but for my opponent. Here is the final score. Actually, I can actually pull it up, history right here. I can pull it up right here, so you guys can see I lost basically 3 rounds in. The last 3 rounds I lost right here, and it was a very close game. Huge kudos to them. But then afterwards, you guys can see the final scores, dude. You guys can see, but the first one I ever played right here, look at the scoreboard, guys. I feel rough for this player. This player, what had matched me up against me, he had 400 power. I have 1,035 power. So I got a 5 overall boost. My team was way better than him, and he basically rage quit. You know what I'm talking about. He basically tried to get a touchdown. He got one. It wasn't even for 9. It wasn't even a running one, so he didn't get the 100 points. But it was, I believe, a passing touchdown. So we only got 99, and he didn't get it all in one play. So he didn't even scratch 100 points, and I absolutely blew this guy out of the water, and that made this man lose a ticket, right? So I feel like matchmaking needs to be tweaked. You know what I'm talking about? Let's go back to another one right here. This guy did even worse. I got 1,659, and my opponent only dropped 34. Now, of course, he probably left right before the minute mark. He left way before the minute mark because I was just going off, hitting dots, just playing it how I was. And then, of course, I just won because I won. You know what I'm talking about? So that does suck. That matchmaking, that needs to be tweaked. Now, another thing is, this is another, the way I see it, this is another type of tournament where okay, talk about another great thing is we have tournaments back, we have the draft back into the game. That was sick. I really like that. But of course, another thing that I dislike, or not dislike, but I understand where they're coming from, but it's another, like, it's a marathon and it's not a sprint. You know what I'm talking about? People thought Thursday, Friday, it's one round and you finish your milestones, and then of course Saturday, Sunday, you get a brand new set of milestones and you get another 200 tokens or trophies. So I thought it was exactly like that. I would not use my attempt ticket if I knew it was gonna be like that, because I was like 2,000 points away from maxing out to tier 7. So yeah, there was that. A lot of people were confused, like, damn, why did I spend 200 Madden cash if I failed when I could have just waited till the next day and been a little patient and actually got it out? So that's where, of course, they went for the more of a marathon than a sprint, and I understand where they're coming from. They're making it easier because, hey, let's say you're that player that got absolutely demolished in the first game you played. You can't get the tier 7 by losing 3 games right away on Monday, right? So if you can, instead of being one round getting to tier 7, which is a lot harder, you probably have to spend some Madden cash, some retries and stuff like that. As good as I am at the game, I'm not even that great, but as good, I'm better than an average player. I still had to use one ticket. You know what I'm talking about? So if I was a regular Joe player, instead of focusing on, hey, I have to get to tier 7 in one round, they made it so you have to get to tier 7 in a week. So instead of having 3 tries to get to tier 7, you technically have 9 tries, and then of course you actually have 10 because you have this extra free bonus. So more of a marathon than a sprint. Tell me in the comment section, what do you guys think about this? Honestly, at first glance, I was like, oh man, I'm not going to be able to stream today. And that was just me being kind of selfish, thing like, yo, I have no content to stream for. I'm not going to stream because it's kind of boring. But then when I look at it, for an average player, it would be frustrating if you have to keep on grinding it out every single 2 days just so you can get the tier 7. But of course, for people that do want to grind it out, it's kind of like, what's the point? But for the whole, the way I have to look at this, I have to look at it for like hardcore players like me and people on Mudhead and people on Reddit and people that just play the game every single day compared to an average player who maybe logs in once or twice a week, right? The way I look at it, yes, for us players right now, we're looking at this like, dang, basically Saturday, Sunday, and even if you finish it Monday to Wednesday, you basically can't do anything, right? You're gonna be kind of stuck, unless you don't play as well, and then you have to use your little tickets. But of course, for the grand scheme of things, I think that is a smarter way to go for, of course, the tournaments and stuff like that. But yeah, so this video is already getting pretty long, but what are my takeaways on this? Now, of course, guys, this is the first tournament, so you got to be respectable of that. They are just trying to see what the data is, well, how many people are playing, what is the given range. They're gonna, of course, tweak matchmaking. I have talked to my boy Danny. He said, yes, this is the first tournament. We need to see what the data brings us, and then matchmaking will be better. We'll see what the feedback is, if people like it better for one whole week, maybe half a week, or I don't know, maybe every round a new one goes up. Maybe they change the number of how many points it needs for the milestones. Instead of just 40,000 points, you need 250 points, so you still have something to grind for inside of the whole week. So they're gonna tweak some numbers here and there, so we'll see what happens, guys. But did you guys finish off and go to tier 7, get yourself a set player, or you guys grinding out the masters? I'm gonna go for the masters myself. I need a defensive end, and that Jerry Hughes is just looking sexy right now. So yeah, look at those stats. But yeah, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Tell me, guys, how your draft went. Tell me, guys, what you guys think about my draft. I think it was pretty good. But yeah, guys, hopefully those tips helped you out as well. But thank you guys so much for watching. You guys are tuning to for everything Madden Overdrive, and that's right here on the channel. Of course, guys, please hit that subscribe button, leave a like on this video, and of course, always stay hype. And I'll catch you guys soon. Peace. What's up?